Good morning. It is Monday today. It's the 29th of January, so we're heading into February, obviously. Yes, Tinks, good morning. Does anyone else have a dog that doesn't really eat breakfast? Like, she only has one meal a day. When I put her breakfast down for in the morning, she's not bothered. If Evie walks away from her bowl to see if Tinks has left anything, which she always has because she doesn't touch it, Tinks will then go to Evie's bowl to finish her biscuits, but she will never eat her own, really, unless she's not eaten the night before. If when we went to the Liverpool game on Saturday, we didn't feed them the tea, so she'll eat her breakfast then, but I don't know where she gets her energy from. So last week, if you've seen last week's vlog, I did start it off by saying that I was starting the vlog with a little bit of makeup on because I didn't want to put anyone off, and I didn't want, you know, you to all to think that I'd been dragged through a hedge backwards. Well, it's the second vlog of the year today, and I feel like I'm well within my rights to start the vlog looking like this, obviously. So I apologise. It is about 10 o'clock. I've been up for a little while. Tommy actually is doing jury service this week, so he started this morning. He was really excited about it. Yesterday I just thought we were having like a chilled day. I mentioned I was just wanting to get some like housework done, and then Tom was running a marathon, and then when he got home I just thought we were going to sit by the fire and have like a really chilled afternoon, which didn't really go to plan. He got home a little bit later than expected, and then he wasn't really aching, but he really didn't feel very well. Tom didn't have any tea. I think he had a bowl of Cheerios, but it just really wasn't feeling very well. Anyway, it got to about 8 o'clock and Tinks was in the kitchen growling, which she doesn't really do. She barks if someone comes through the door and stuff, but she wouldn't just be stood growling. So I went in and she was growling at the corner cupboard, which is a cupboard where we've had mice before. Now in this cupboard at the moment, there on the bottom shelf, it's where we keep all our like champagne glasses or serving trays and stuff if we're having a party, things we don't use that often, cocktail glasses, stuff like that. Then on the top shelf, it's where Tom keeps all his protein powders and protein bars and stuff. And maybe like a year ago, there was like a few mouse droppings in there, but then that was it. They never came back. That was all that we could find. Tom thought that he'd like sealed up the hole and stuff. We do keep getting mice in our garage, which is something that we've you know realised. Anyway, so Tinks was growling at this cupboard. I opened it and a mouse ran past and I saw the tail and I screamed like I've never screamed before. Honestly, it just really frightened me. It was just, I wasn't expecting it. So I shouted Tom and he came and had a look, cleared out the stuff out of his cupboard. And then basically we realised that we've had mice living in that. This is, I know, so gross, but there's not been a smell in there. We've not heard anything. I mean, we've heard a couple of mice like upstairs running under the floorboards because that's where they get, and you know, we know that we've had mice, but we didn't know that we had two that were using one of our shelves in our kitchen as a bloody hotel. So on discovery, we saw that there was loads of mouse droppings, little bits of bedding that they'd made for themselves, and they basically had eaten most of Tom's protein stuff. So he had protein cookies in there. There were like 3 whole cookies that had gone, protein bars, little protein balls that you can get, literally so much food that they'd worked through. And it was quite funny at the time because we did think, you know, they're probably like the henchest mice ever, like the healthiest, you know, packed of protein mice that you could ever find. And there were 2 little baby mice in there that were still living in there. They were trying to like jump up to get out of the hole, but they weren't big enough. So what we think has happened is that they'd obviously had a mum and a dad at one point. They've mated, had these babies, and then the mum and dad have scarpered and the babies can't get out. So whether they'd left to go and get some more bedding or to find some more food or something, and they hadn't come back yet, but these 2 babies couldn't get out. So Tom managed to get them. This is a very long story. Tom managed to get them in one of his protein shakers, because it's quite a tall like shaker, which is very ironic. And then because they've been eating the protein, managed to get them in there and we released them. We've got like a big kind of like park and field across the road and up the road away from us, and we released them down there. So they probably, if you know, if they're intelligent, they'll work their way back, and I'm sure we'll see them again. But it was eventful. And then After that, Tom really didn't feel very well, because I said to him, you know, just clear out the cupboard, get rid of everything. We had to bleach it all and everything. So we did all that, and then he felt really, really sick. He was packing his bags for today because he's going to the gym after jury service, and he couldn't find his wallet. So we were like backtracking, we were looking everywhere, we were looking in all our shopping bags, the car. Bearing in mind, the whole time he felt really, really queasy. So I felt so sorry for him. Anyway, I told him to ring the bank and check the transactions. And there'd been 2 transactions in Cirencester, which is in the West Midlands, like down south, to about 4 hours away from us, maybe 5. Ironically, one of the places where we're looking at going to when we go away for our 10-year anniversary, when we're down in Oxford, and someone had used it twice, contactless, in a petrol station down there. So only like 20 quid and then 13 quid, but they'd still used it. And that's quite close to Birmingham, where West Brom play. So we think it might have either fallen out of his pocket or someone had taken it out of his pocket when we were walking back to the car, because we had to walk kind of amongst all the West Brom fans and like past all the coaches and stuff. So so then he had to ring and cancel all of his cards. He was on the phone to the police and, you know, the fraud line and stuff, and he wasn't really bothered about getting the money back. I think there was like 40 quid cash in there, and then obviously that 40 quid that's been spent on his card. But he really wants them to catch the guy that's used it, because it's one thing, you know, finding a wallet or stealing a wallet, but it's not. It's just the fact that, like, you didn't have to use it. I said to Tom, if we'd found a wallet at that game, what would we have done? And he was like, taken it to lost property or the local police station, no question about it. And it's just like, I like to think that we live in quite an honest world, and where people are nice and they do nice things, and then obviously there just are some not very nice people that make bad decisions. You know, and that day Tom and I had been talking about the pay it forward schemes that are kind of being set up near where we live. So I know it's quite a big thing in America, where you can go into a shop and pay for an extra coffee or an extra hot drink, so that if someone goes in that's homeless or doesn't have enough money, they can have the one that you already paid for. So we were talking about that and how it's kind of becoming quite a big thing locally, and how we'd really like to do it. And, you know, we went to Starbucks, and when we left, I said, that's when I started talking to him about it, and I said, you know, next time we could pay for the person behind us and things like that. And then that happened the same day. So it was just a bit of a nightmare last night, and I felt so sorry for Tom because he didn't feel very well, and it was just all a bit unexpected, really. So I've just noticed I've been talking for 10 minutes again, so I'm gonna get on with the day. Today, folks, just isn't our day. I don't know if it's because I'm coming on or because just luck is not on our side, but after everything that I told you this morning, Tom took my debit card with him. He's on jury service today, I mentioned that. He took my debit card with him so he could pay for things like the car park and get himself some lunch. I think there's something on the lens. He's just rung me and he was like, I'm really, really sorry, please don't be annoyed at me, I don't know how I've done it. Oh, at lunchtime he told me that he'd taken one of his Marks and Spencer's microwavable meals that he has, those healthy ones, and they didn't have a microwave, so he couldn't have it. But then he realised that the one that he'd taken with him had leaked in his bag, because he's daft and he hadn't put it in a carrier bag. And the bag that he was using today was a new rucksack, a Herschel one that I'd bought him for Christmas, because the other one that he had, the bag had broke because he overfilled it. So that was the first thing. Then he just rang me to tell me he's lost my bank card. So now he's not got a bank card and neither have I. So we're going to have a double check when he gets home just to make sure. But it's just going brilliantly today, because then he rang me to tell me the news, and I'm in the kitchen baking a cake. I'm going to take it round to my grandparents. I've got some blueberries left over from that acai stuff that I made last week, so I thought I would put it in a cake. And that happened when he rang me. I dropped one of the eggs on the floor. So it's just a brilliant start to the week. This is the recipe that I'm using. It's just on All Recipes, and it's called the blueberry and white chocolate loaf cake with lemon drizzle, and you put lemon and lemon zest in the cake too. I've made it before and I didn't actually eat any of it, but I had good reviews back from it, so that is what I'm making. and hopefully I won't drop anything else on the floor. Is there anything more satisfying than a cake that is fresh out of the oven? I spilt some on the side while I was getting it in, but I'm not even going to eat any of this, and it just makes me so happy, and it smells divine. I'm just heating up some minestrone soup for my tea. It's 7:15 now. At 8:15 I have a piano lesson. So I inquired a couple of weeks after Christmas about starting piano lessons. If you follow me on Instagram or you've been following for a while, you might have known the story about how I always wanted to learn piano, but when I was growing up, we started off on keyboard with the promise of being put onto piano, and when it came to that judgment day, my mum told me that I could only learn organ rather than piano because A, it was cheaper, and B, my granddad had an organ, so I had something to practice on. So I never learnt it. I tried again at college, but then went to uni quite soon after, so I just never kept it up. So I have a piano lesson tonight, and I'm really scared. I got dressed and I was really happy with my outfit. I put on that grey pearly jumper that I've got from M&S and my mom jeans, and then sat down to do my makeup and realised that actually when I sit down in my mom jeans and there's nothing to hide the bulge, my stomach is just massive. I think because I'm due on, it's just, I'm so bloated. So I've put on this cable knit jumper dress from ASOS, which I do really like, but I feel like it makes me look a bit severe. So I'm gonna pop on my Converse. I know it's a piano lesson, it's not a fashion show, but I always feel like first impressions are so important. So that is what I'm doing tonight. It is about 11:15. I've been awake since about 8. We've got quite a busy day today, so I thought I'd take you along with me. And I didn't vlog last week, so I might have little bits to update you on and stuff like that. I do have a new favourite breakfast. So I mentioned in my last vlog that I was after some acai berries, like a berry mix that you basically blend in a blender. I will show you how I do it one day when I have the packet, but at the moment I'm just going through one that I already made and then froze. It's the one that I made it and it was like a little bit runny. I think I made it last time I vlogged. So you pop it in a blender with like fruit and a little bit of liquid, and then you add granola and fruit when you top it. So I'm gonna go make it and I'll show you what it looks like when I've finished it. This is what it looks like when I've finished like popping everything together. Obviously I've got some granola and then the acai blend, some banana and some strawberries. I'm hoping that all the goodness that's in this bowl will help get rid of this cold because I'm so over sounding like this. And over the top I've used some Clark's original maple syrup, and then the granola that I use is the Jordan's Simply Granola with a hint of honey. I'm really sorry that I sound like this. This granola is so similar to the one that I had in Portland, and I really, really like it. It tastes really, really good. Do you think that I'm going to really petrify my piano teacher going like this today? I'm wearing this hoodie from Topshop and my Nike leggings. I just had to show you the take to prove that they were my Nike leggings, obviously. I really can't bother putting makeup on today, and I really can't bother getting dressed. Last week I wore like a really thick knitted dress and I was so hot, so I thought I'd just go like this today. I mean, not every week I'm not going to go, you know, in a really nice outfit with my hair and makeup done perfectly. My lessons are at 8:15. My brain's already almost retiring for the evening, and I just want to be cozy and comfortable, so I'm going like this. I'm home and I have officially my first piano book. This is the one that she recommended and the one that she teaches from, so it's just the Adult Piano Method by Hal Leonard, and this is what it looks like. So this is what I have been using my last 2 lessons, and I don't know whether I'm going to get this portable piano or whether I should wait a little bit and see like how serious I am, and then because Tom's grandma's got a piano as well that I could go and practice on, so I'm not sure really what I'm going to do yet, but I'm absolutely loving it. I just, half an hour goes by so quickly. It's now 10:05. I've been back for a little bit, but I've just been on the phone. I'm gonna pop in a piece of toast and then go and get in bed and get all cuddly. I'm up, I've showered, I'm dressed-ish, not got a bra on yet, but I'm not going out till later, so that's, in my eyes, very, very acceptable. It is Tuesday today and I've woken up to snow. I saw on my Facebook people going on and on about how it was snowing,
and I've woken up and it is very much snowing, and it seems to be sticking a little bit. This is currently what I can see out of my back window, which obviously doesn't look like there's a lot there, but if I showed you our cars and stuff, you can see it's quite thick. Okay, I had to go really quickly because we have a guy that has been doing jobs for us and stuff. I think I mentioned that, I don't know if I did actually, he was doing the loft insulation for us last week because it was just never finished off. And he's been boarding up the garage because we've had a bit of a problem with mice the past few weeks. So he just knocked on the door and said, can I come and finish off the garage today? And I look like this, wasn't expecting him. I'm highly embarrassed. My plan for today anyway was to go and hibernate in my office and get some stuff done. I've got editing to do, I need to get on my laptop, and I've just been putting it off for too long now. So now I have more of an excuse. I mean, he's going to be just in the garage, but it's going to be so cold in there. It's absolutely like so coming down with snow so badly. So it's just so embarrassing. Like, the garage is one room that I don't go into, and it's Thomas's kind of like, that's his part of the house that he looks after and maintains, and doesn't seem like he's been maintaining it, and it's just ridiculous in there. So I just said to the guy that is doing the jobs, I was like, I'm not going to come in any further because it might make me file for divorce. And he was laughing, but I'm serious, Tommy, if you're watching this, you need to sort your act out. Yes, I still look like a crazy person, but a lot of time has passed and I have been quite productive, done a lot of washing, and I've taxed my car. Now my car is actually free to tax. It's so annoying that I get a vehicle tax reminder form that I have to go online and like tax it for the year, even though it doesn't cost anything. I just feel like it's such a pointless exercise, but I've done it. I'm just making a brief for myself and the guy that's here doing jobs in the garage. He's like boarding it all up. In a minute you're not going to be able to hear me over the kettle. So while they're brewing, yeah, I taxed my car. I'm just going to sit now and do some editing. Also, this kitchen, we might be changing it. Obviously we're still doing work on this house, and this kitchen was new when we moved in here, and it's been like 3 years, and I didn't really like the kitchen when we chose it, didn't like the kitchen when it went in, and it was kind of a case where, and I'm hoping to do a video on this soon, but a lot of decisions had to be made when we moved in here very, very quickly. Whereas I wanted to live in the house and live here and get a feel for the place and design it as we went on. Thomas was very much for doing it before, and some of it was justified. We had to do like the electricity and the plumbing and everything, and so things had to be in place for that. Like, we had to choose where we wanted the sink to be in here because we needed to put while the plumbing was being done, we needed to do that. So it did kind of make sense at the time. But the kitchen is the only part of the house that and I know some of you think, oh, I'm crazy, I get comments on how nice the kitchen is all the time, but this kitchen at the moment is very much country style, like shabby chic, and the rest of the house now isn't like that. That was my taste years ago, but now I think we're going to change it, and I think like obviously we're gonna keep the oven, but I think we're gonna change, you can change the oven doors to black ones, tile the floor all the way into the garden room and the downstairs toilet, and get kind of like a marble effect. Worktop, white cupboards, that's what we're thinking at the moment. So that's like a little project that I've been looking into, which is really, really exciting because, as I say, it's the one part of the house, it just doesn't go together, it just doesn't fit with everything else. So that's that. We might be changing the kitchen. Anyway, better go and give this guy his coffee, his brew even, and I'm gonna have mine and get some stuff done. I thought I'd just show you my outfit because we're going to the cinema later, but I'm just gonna show you this and then I'm gonna go down and film, because I thought, well, I've got a full face of makeup on, then I might as well make the most of it and film Sunday's video, so I'm ahead of the game for once. This scarf is an old one from H&M, but I just love it. It's like a blanket scarf, so it keeps me so warm, so I'll be wearing this to the cinema because it's always really cold, and then I'm so cold at the moment. Obviously it was snowing this morning, and you can jolly well tell this jacket is from Zara. I didn't show you that very well, but it's just my leather jacket that I always wear from Zara. I just literally chucked it on to leave the house in, and then isn't this just the best outfit of the day you've ever witnessed in your life? This cardigan is an old one from ASOS. If I can find anything like it anywhere, or it might even still be on the website on ASOS, I highly doubt it. It's like a gorgeous kind of like burnt orange colour, and I've worn it a lot the last couple of days. I'm going to film without this on because in my last video I was wearing this over a different top. And then this is a long sleeve black and white stripy top from New Look, which I've had for a while, but this is still in stock. It's about £7, so I'll link that. Belt is from ASOS. It's just a plain black gold buckle belt. Jeans are my Topshop Jamie jeans. I mentioned these the other day. They are just a bit more jean-like than actual Jonies, so I prefer them a little bit. I'll link these because I could only find them in one place and I searched for them for so long. These are the Bianca boots from Dr. Martens, or Doc Martens. I'm not cool, I don't know how you say it. And I love them. It's the first time I've worn them. In my haul video I mentioned that I didn't know whether to keep, I got the 6 and the 7, and the 7 were a bit too big and the 6 were a bit too small. Then I went on again and checked, and they had a 6.5 like come back in stock. So these are the 6.5, but they're a European size 40, which is what I usually wear. So I don't know if the sizes are a little bit weird, but you were all amazing and like gave me loads of advice and told me to walk them in before I wear them out of the house. I go and film this. I'm actually filming a beauty haul, and I'm making tea, dog walk, cinema. So I feel like I've had a busy day today, but it's good to get stuff done, I suppose. It's been a good day. It's been a good day.
Do you want to go on walkies? Do you want to go on walkies?
I look haggard. I feel haggard. It is 10:10. We've just got back from the cinema and the film was so good. I feel like we didn't go to the cinema in ages, and then recently we've seen quite a few films and they've all been really, really good. So it was The Darkest Hour, and I really need to find my tripod and put you on that because it's hard. My arms just don't have that much strength. It was so good. It really was good. If you're interested in like politics, history, that kind of era of, you know, Britain, the United Kingdom in the 1940s, it was just so good. And I'm interested in it, but Tommy is really interested in it, and he just came out then, and I was watching it, and at, you know, at different parts I just thought to myself, I know he's just going to be obsessed with this, he's going to love this film. We came out and he was like, that's one of my favourite films I've ever seen. I think it's going to get a lot of awards, it deserves so many. It was really, really good. So yes, we've had a really nice time actually. Morning, it is Sunday today, and it's been 5 days I think since I last vlogged on this vlog. I think it was Tuesday when I last vlogged, and this week has just been such a strange week, and I thought I'd quickly tell you why and what's been going on. I think the beginning of the week I filmed quite a lot of footage, so I think this vlog will be quite long anyway. Excuse behind me, I've just stripped the bed. I'm going to change the sheets today obviously, so that's why it looks like that. So basically, if you follow me on Instagram you might already be aware, but on Wednesday I started with, like Wednesday afternoon, I started with really, really bad tummy ache, and then the pain kind of radiated all the way up my back, and it wasn't as intense as it's been before, but it was pretty horrible. And I was crying, I was really scared, I wasn't sure what it was, and it lasted for quite a while. It started in the afternoon, and when I was going to sleep it carried on. So it did last quite a few hours on Wednesday night, and then on Thursday I woke up and I felt a little bit exhausted, like I'd kind of been beaten up a little bit, but I was okay. And then I had some lunch, and then I just had some chicken and cucumber, and then when it got to about 4 o'clock I started with really bad tummy ache again, and it started in kind of like my middle area, like underneath my breastbone, in like the middle area of my kind of abdominal area I guess, and then again like kind of took over that entire portion of my body and all up my back, and I was writhing around in pain on the bed. I was up here and I was screaming out in pain. I was making some very, very strange noises. I just couldn't ease the pain. It was as if I didn't have control over my body. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. Now this has happened in the past. When I was in America it happened a couple of times. That was the first time it happened. It's happened a few times since, but none as intense as it did on Thursday, to the point where I was actually going to ring 999. Now, I knew Tom was on his way home. The night before, when I'd been poorly, I called Tom to come home early. It was about 10 o'clock. He was meant to be locking up the gym.
9:30 it must have been, and he'd actually been on a run, and he was coming home early anyway because I got someone to cover for him at the gym because his lips and hands had turned blue. He was shaking uncontrollably, he couldn't barely speak. So obviously that just added to my worry, but he got warm. We were really concerned, but he didn't want to like go to A&E. He just wanted to get warm, so we wrapped him up, and we kind of shared the hot water bottle that he'd made for me, and we both just went to sleep kind of like in complete shock. That was Wednesday. Anyway, on Thursday he was fine. I woke up feeling much better, but then this happened on Thursday afternoon. So I was honestly so close to calling 999. I have never ever been in pain like it, and I was so scared. The only thing that was kind of made it a little bit easier was the fact that I'd experienced this pain before, and I have thought since it happened the first time that it possibly is something to do with my gallbladder, and that I've got gallstones, which can be a side effect of having gastric sleeve surgery, which I've obviously had, because when you lose, or any dramatic weight loss, when you lose so much weight dramatically, your cholesterol that you normally produces at the same rate, and it now has not enough kind of food and to break down, and it's not got as much use, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that's the use of cholesterol, but it's what it would be used for. It's not needed on that volume anymore, so you've got that kind of like this buildup of cholesterol which forms gallstones. And I've read a lot online that people have said that they don't know when people have weight loss surgery, they don't just remove the gallbladder, because so many people have issues with it, and I seem to tick every single box when it comes to symptoms. And I just kind of feel like I think we all know our own body, and obviously I'm not an expert, but anyway, I feel like it's 99% gallstones, and the fact that it keeps happening, and everyone that I've spoken to that's had gallstones, we all kind of have said that we've experienced the same kind of pain, and it's just excruciating. And on Thursday it lasted again for about 40 minutes. Tom came home, we rang 111, and they said I needed to go to A&E for an urgent assessment. So we went to A&E. It's the first time I've ever been to A&E, you know, thank goodness. I know I'm very lucky to be able to say that, but it was even more scary because it was just a whole new, you know, I suffer with anxiety, but mostly when it comes to new experiences or new things, and obviously this was quite a big deal. And usually when it happens, I normally like sleep it off, feel quite, you know, when the attacks happen, that's what I called it, that's the only thing I can explain it as. But this one seemed to last for a very long time. I was sat in the A&E waiting room and I thought I was going to faint. I felt so sick, my back was killing me. I really wanted to cry, but I couldn't because it hurt to even start to cry. And then I was struggling breathing. It was like someone was standing on my chest, which they later told me was probably because I was panicking. So because of that, Tom told them that I was struggling to breathe. They kind of saw me a little bit sooner. They took all my bloods and everything. My blood pressure was really low, and they wanted me to stay in overnight. They gave me medication to reduce the acid in my stomach and my gallbladder that it produces. They gave me some Buscopan, which kind of settles the stomach, and they gave me some paracetamol on a drip. I was admitted to the day surgery ward because they have obviously the most experience in gastric sleeve surgery. The first doctor I saw was horrible, the second one was amazing, the first one was so rude. Kept saying to me, well, why have you had the surgery? You look perfect, you're a perfect weight, why have you had the surgery? And I was like, yes, because I had it over a year ago and I've lost nearly 7 stone. If I was led here last year, you probably wouldn't be saying that. And he was like, I have no knowledge of this surgery. I would never tell anyone to have such invasive surgery. He was like, it's obviously that's causing the problem. And I said, well, and he also kept saying that because I mentioned gallstones and that my GP had suggested gallstones months ago, and I had been referred for an ultrasound to look, but I'd never got the letter. It still hasn't come through for the appointment. And he was like, well, there's no evidence to suggest it's gallstones. You've not had an ultrasound scan. But then when he said to me about, well, it must be the surgery that's causing it, I said, well, there's no evidence. We don't know what's wrong. All you've taken is my blood pressure, and, you know, I've done a urine sample and you've taken some bloods. There's nothing else to suggest. And they were all fine, which if it is gallstones, it wouldn't necessarily appear on any of those tests. So he was very rude. He wasn't being helpful. He was just being very judgmental and quite degrading and it just wasn't nice. So A&E was jam-packed, so we were just all lining up the corridors. So I stayed in overnight. Tom went home and got me some stuff. He'd had such a long day and it was about 1 o'clock by the time he got to go home for the last time after he'd bought me all my stuff. He bought me like all my pajamas that I had to like to describe to him what pajamas I wanted, and I was like, you know, the ones I really like from Primark? And he was like, no. I was like, the ones with the cuff leg. And so he bought me like 3 choices just to be on the safe side, bless him, and he did get them all right. And he was just amazing, asking all the questions that I couldn't ask. And then in the morning they said that I was hopefully going to be going for my ultrasound. They were trying to ring down to see when they opened and what slots they had available. And then one of the surgeons, I think he's a bariatric specialist, which is like a weight loss surgeon, he came in with 3 other guys. They shut the curtain around them and one of the nurses came in and basically said to me that they think it's related to my gastric sleeve surgery, and that they think that it's stomach inflammation, or that it could be gallstones. And I've looked online and I've looked at all the things with stomach inflammation, and day to day I have no issue with what I eat. I have no pain in my stomach. I have, you know, when I eat I feel normal. I know not to overeat. I eat slowly. And if I ever eat too quickly, I just feel very, very full and a bit uncomfortable. Never to the extent of what has happened every time that this pain comes on. When I look at symptoms for gallstones, I tick every single box. And obviously they haven't done no test yet, so they've not really got any way of knowing. So they had a feel of my tummy, and basically he said he was happy for me to go home and come back for an ultrasound as an outpatient, which I was a bit upset at first, and they want me to have a camera as well down my throat to look at my stomach, but I don't think it's going to get that far because I think it's gallstones. I was a bit upset because obviously they'd said that I could have it over the next couple of days while I was in hospital, and then they were saying that I just needed to make sure that I kept eating and drinking when I was at home because my blood pressure was low, but they were happy for me to go home and that they'd prescribed me these acid reducing tablets for my gallbladder and my stomach, and that I was good to go. But because I was already there, I just wish that they'd done the ultrasound, because I just want someone to tell me once and for all, yes or no, whether it is gallstones, so that we can then look at other options properly. And I think if Thomas had been there, he couldn't, because he's been on jury service the last couple of weeks and it wasn't even visiting hours anyway. So, but I feel like he would have said, no, I wanted to stay in, I wanted to have the ultrasound, she's already here, it would be less paperwork for you all. But it wasn't gonna happen. So, and there was 4 guys stood around me, 1 nurse. I'm a shy person anyway. I'd already started crying when I was telling them where the pain was and everything. So it just wasn't going to happen. So hopefully the next couple of weeks I'm going to be going for an ultrasound to see what that is. Now I'm completely fine. I feel fine. This is what usually happens after it's happened. Yesterday, which was the day after, I felt very tired and like I'd been beaten up. But today I feel, or yesterday was a couple of days after, but today I feel just like my usual self. So I thought I'd vlog a little bit today. It's Sunday. It was my sister's and my uncle's birthday yesterday. My sister is doing something tonight anyway. We're going out for a meal. My uncle, he is severely brain damaged. He lives with my grandparents. He's my dad's brother, and I don't know if I've ever spoken about it before, but he had a car accident over 10 years ago now. I think it was in the millennium. And he is 56. He's amazing. He's so intelligent. He's so funny and happy and lovely. And obviously because of his brain injury, he kind of acts almost as if he's a 12-year-old or even younger sometimes. So any little thing that you ever take him round is so exciting for him. And I was so upset yesterday that I couldn't see him on his birthday and take him his presents and his cake, that I'm actually now going to make, because I didn't make it yesterday. I think I'm going to make them into cupcakes actually. So that's the plan today. I've got some cakes to make, I've got some presents to wrap, and I'm going to make the bed, just the usual really, and then we're going out tonight. So this is all gonna, I need to wash my hair so badly and put some makeup on this face. I've not had makeup on in what seems like forever. I know it's not been forever. I had it on at the beginning of the week, but I need to make myself look more presentable. So that's the day. I just wanted to let you all know that I have been in hospital. I just wanted to let you all know that I'm fine, and we're hopefully going to get to the bottom of it really soon. So let's go make some cakes. This is the cake mix in question, and honestly it's the
tastiest, laziest way to make a cake. Like if you just want to quickly rustle something up, you've just got to, there's no measuring to do apart from like water and some vegetable oil, which I know sounds gross. You just bung it all in a bowl, mix it all together. And usually I make the cake, but today I've decided to make little cupcakes because obviously it's my sister's birthday, or it was yesterday, and my uncle's, so I'm going to divide them between the two of them. So I've got 2 sets. I'm going to put them in the oven now, and then I've got some mini eggs and some flake chocolate to put on top of them. And also one of my sisters is like obsessed with having melted dairy milk chocolate all over them, but I've got some of this in the cupboard and it's actually what like you're meant to put on top of it, so because I've got it, it needs using up. So I'm going to top it with some of this icing and then some mini eggs and flake. These are the little finished products. So I've got a plate to take to my grandparents and a plate to take for my mum and my sisters for my sister's birthday. So I've divided them kind of equally. It's 4:30 now. I still look like this. Tom's mum has been round for a brew, which is really nice. I've been wrapping presents. Tom's in the garage like tidying it all and sorting it all out. I am just going to go and wrap some more presents, make a drink, like a cup of tea, and then go and do something about this and decide what I'm going to wear, because I haven't worn like normal clothes that aren't gym clothes in about a week. And it's just always a struggle, isn't it, really? We are majorly last minute again, but I'm just wearing kind of like a mashup of all of the outfits that you've ever seen me wear. Look at that wrapping mess in the background. I was going to show you what I bought my sister because I was actually really pleased with it. Oh, one of them's weed in the room. But I will put little images up of what I bought her because it's just from ASOS and I was really pleased with it in the end. But I've just really quickly had to wrap it. Oh my god, I'm so stressed. But we're going out for this meal now. And I'm going to leave you here because some people that we're going with aren't quite used to me vlogging. It always gets a little bit awkward. So I really hope you've enjoyed this week. I have no idea what I've filmed. It seems to have been just a random collection of stuff. The videos for the next couple of videos and the one that you've just seen will all be mixed kind of like order because of me being in hospital and not being very well, so just bear with me. I'm still making them, I'm still fine. I know they've been a bit sporadic, but I've not been around much. So I hope you're all having an amazing week. I think this is going to go up on Wednesday, and I will see you all on Sunday with a beauty haul.